We've seen you three times in such a such a small span of time, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, so good. That's how life is. कभी कभी आप मिलते नहीं हैं, and then you just keep
yes,
bumping into each other. So,
yes. I
so
think
how's it? Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
please.
time span of last 15 days, we have like met and spoke a lot, and for
Yeah.
the past 6 months, we haven't.
Oh yes,
Not
that's
at
the truth.
all.
That's the truth. So Bareera, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from? How did you hear about Repstack? How did you get into Repstack?
All right. So I'll start from my studies. I actually have done my bachelor's in marketing from PAFGate because my father was an Air Force soldier, and it's like we do get a discount from there, so that's why. And when I landed in Repstack, like I was working with a UK-based company before, so I was looking forward to work with a company that would like provide me the same opportunity to work from home because everybody knows that I have two kids, and I really really wanted to like spend time with them as well and not get tired so much that I would get totally exhausted in the end of the day. So like one day I was like it was a process of finding the job for like 15 to 20 days when I was trying to switch. So when I was doing that, I landed on an ad from Repstack that they were looking for an account manager. So I applied, and I was not like, I skipped the interview for once, and I asked them to reschedule because I was not sure what kind of company Repstack is and if I would be hired or not, if I should like select this one or not. Then when the interview was rescheduled, and gave my interview, and I was very happy with the attitude and the kind of culture they gave me. Salman was there at that time, and then I had like Safia, I think she's still here. I had her as well in my interview, and they were very very welcoming, and they told me I mentioned them that culture is very important for me to work anywhere because I was coming on lesser salary than I was working on before, but I just accepted this job because I loved the way they spoke to me, and they showed that this is what you will be looking forward to. And then I joined Repstack. I started doing work over there. I really liked the trainings they were that were giving to me, and everything else, the people specifically, how everybody greets everyone, how nice everybody is to everybody, and that's about it.
Okay, so how much time did you spend in RSA?
3 months total, complete 3 months.
Oh wow. So not many have spent that. So you're a pro at RSA.
Yeah, I was in RSA for a long time because first of all I was going for Dennis Yu. Everybody knows about him, but I
Yeah.
couldn't land him. Then I was going for another client. She did not schedule the interview, like she missed out. And then I was scheduled for this one, my current client, and I'm working for him like for 3 months now. Mashallah, I hope to retain him for longer time.
Now after the new pay structure, you
Yeah.
must, you should. Yeah. So okay, great. Tell us a little bit about your day. How does your day look like with the client? How do you start off? What time do you wake up? And then how are you managing both these big worlds? The kids, mashallah, you have two. What are their names? And how are you coping with everything?
Okay, so it's a hard job, first of all, let me tell
Of
you,
course,
because
of course. I have three
everybody,
daughters. I know it is. It
yeah.
is.
So everybody keeps on calling me super mom, super mom. But let me tell you that it's a very hard job, and sometimes I do miss out on things. I do lack on few of my responsibilities here and there, but it's manageable in the end of the day. So what happened is that I my shifts end at 4 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes it's later as well because it's like 12 hours ahead. My client works in Denver, and it's like 12 hour like ahead of the time.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's their morning and it's our night.
yeah.
So when my shift ends, usually what I try to do is that I try to stay awake, but like it's totally end of the night and you are very exhausted and you want to sleep. So sometimes I do miss my kids' school, but most of the time what I do is I stay awake. I send her to school at 8 o'clock and then I sleep. Then I have like a house help as well that she's very helpful and I'm glad that I have her. Otherwise, I couldn't have managed anything. And I have my elder one who goes to school is like 5 years old. Another one, the smaller one, is like 2 years old right now. I'm planning to put her in school as well because it will be easier for me to have like 4 hours of sleep. Then I
Yeah.
have to wake up at like 12:30, and then I go to pick her up from school. Then like the day starts all over again. Then kids' responsibilities. Then I have to look forward to the house as well, all the chores and everything. Like I do have a house help, but of course they also require an eye on them.
Yeah.
So, and then at 6 o'clock, I start opening my laptop and start looking. I start my time from there, that time, because I know that if I won't start at 6 o'clock, I will have to get up in the middle, and my time will like get disturbed.
Yeah.
So from 6 o'clock till again 4 a.m. it's work time, and then I do have to get up in the middle and take care of rest of the thing in the house, my kids, and then I have to take a break as well to put them to sleep and to manage the rest of the things. So yeah, it's like that. Plus, what I have been doing is that I was really not focusing on my own health, and it was really affecting me because I have been affected from paralysis 2 years back. So it really requires me to have a physical activity all the time, whether it's facial, whether it's running or gym or anything. So I was not focusing on to that for the past 6 months now, and I was like getting some symptoms that were coming back to me, and I really thought of like having some physical activity again, and I am looking into that as well. So I have started working out a little as well because it's very important for my health as well as my weight management. And I'm very proud of that as well because my recovery was very good. I gained from 85 kg, and then I came back on to 65, and I'm still trying to reduce it.
Very nice. Very nice. So I've told
Yeah.
you the quickest way is right in front of your house, Ramada, where they start. Sea View Runners. You can search it on Instagram as well.
All
So,
right.
and what about your work? Like, how does your work day look like? What are your tasks, and how do you manage them?
Okay, so I'm working with this company that is known as Trailhead 8, and my client owns all the domain names 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are like sister companies, and this particular company Trailhead 8, it is a website design and marketing agency basically, and he has a lot of partners as well. So I'm working as an account manager with him. Whichever account comes in, I have to take care of it from the main basic page, the first page, and then the client onboarding as well as the later on task. And the team, I'm also working as an intermediary between the partners and my own team as well. Sometimes I have to like do the task on my own if the team is not available, if they're not responding on time. Like it happens a lot of times, but thankfully the client is very happy with me. I can manage my work on time. But what I do is I just keep a very close check on my tasks because I cannot afford to be lagging in any of them, and I try to be proactive enough to complete them before he asks for it.
Hmm.
So that's how it is.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this conversation. So this is a great, mix of for people listening to, and if you're in RSA or with a client right now, how Bareera is managing her both sides of her story. Like, and it's not that you'll not have you'll be doing 8.5 straight away and without any breaks or anything. That's not possible. So if you have your own things, you can manage them. I mean, you have your own. If you want to work out, if you're passionate about workout, you can even put it that in the middle somewhere. And it's great to have people like you, Bareera, who are doing an exceptional job, keeping a track of what you're doing. So as long as you're hitting your targets, you're hitting your goals, I don't think any client would be, would be interested in how you're spending your time or what time are you spending on your activities. Is more interested. Everyone is more interested in the activities, the tasks that are given. Have they been completed in time? So I think if you have different, everyone will have their own, own what do you call that environment around them. So and the environment plays according to its own self. So you're a great example, Bareera, for a lot of people who are listening. I'm sure. how to handle your house as well. That's why I think we're a 70% female company to have superwomen like you. Um, I know many of the girls who have kids, especially when we were sending these Mother's Day boxes. So we
Yeah.
found out that, and a couple of them I didn't even know that they were married. They had kids. So it's great to have people like you. Apart from that, Barira, anything where any funny story where your kids have just walked into a meeting, or have sometimes gotten you into trouble or something?
Okay, so thankfully, I would again say thankfully because I haven't been trouble up to in trouble up till now. Although I have had a very hard time in past 20 days because there were a lot of things going on. Like I was not having enough sleep. I was not having enough rest. Not even my eating schedule was totally disturbed, and I was so exhausted that I couldn't even speak to anybody properly. So it was a hard time, and still I could manage my client, and I was very happy with that because in that span of time, I thought that I might lose him, and I
Right.
even communicated it with him that I know that I am not working on a front end right now, but I'll make sure that I am on my A game again. And he was like, don't worry about it because I am also working on the back end and we both are in the same boat, and
Okay.
I'm sure that you will be back in game very soon. And I was so happy with his words and so much motivated that I was not even looking into my sleep again, because this is what I really wanted from my job, my work life. That people who keep on motivating you and do not put you down for anything. Because I had some bad experiences in the past, and I had to leave my jobs right away because of those experiences. And I'm very thankful to Allah Ta'ala and to Repstack as well that they provided me this opportunity. And I'm like being an A player in this company right now. And inshallah, Allah, please, Allah, keep me an A player in future as well. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's all I have to say.
Inshallah. Actually, it's people like you who are making Repstack the kind of culture we're in it. When we started it off, we didn't know what culture was, or how can we, how can a remote company have some kind of culture. But I think 3 months, 4 months down the road, we realized that culture is the most important thing in this company. I don't,
Absolutely.
yeah, so that really we made sure that we focus on that, and and just cherish these small moments of these Mother's Day, Father's Day, stuff like that. I mean, these are important things. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were as important when our parents were growing up, but for us and our children, I think it's very important in the kind of environment we're living in, and so and. So anything, what do you do on the weekends? How do your weekends look like? Sleep?
Oh,
What
so
I'm assuming. What I'm assuming. Yeah.
okay. So what I try to do is that I usually, since my routine is all set up and it's like it fits in your brain that this is how much you have to sleep in your weekends as well. So no matter how much I try, I always sleep in the same schedule that I'm sleeping on the weekdays. So rest
Yeah.
of the time, what I do is I try to spend with my kids. I like to hang out. Like I'm very social kind of a person. I try to take them out, or otherwise I meet my friends. I have like a very big friend circle. That's why I attended rep camp as well, because I had a lot of friends from Islamabad and Lahore. They were all coming over there, and I really wanted to say hi to all of them. And
Yeah.
I was very happy to meet most of them and like all of them, because it was a very different experience, like talking to them on virtually and then meeting them in person. I hope they felt the same. But
Sure.
that's
I'm sure there is. But so you made all these friends while you were at Repstack, like in
yes,
RSA, or how
absolutely.
did you get in touch with them?
No, no. So what happened is that what I observed is like I I have my friends who were already friends with people in Repstack, because they were some university mates or school mates, and they were coming from the reference. But there was not a single person for me whom I know from like my university or school or from anywhere. So there was none. I made all of them in Repstack, and I'm glad that I have such a good friend circle now over here.
Very nice, very nice. So you recently had a trip to Nathia Gali as well with Fatma, Zara. So all of them, did you meet in Repstack?
Yes, yes,
Wow,
absolutely.
that's surprising. Nice, nice. Yeah. So you're hanging out. You're doing great with, I think, with whatever you're doing. You're having your own uh, trips as well. So it's pretty awesome. By the way, if you can tell us a little bit about your trip, how was that to Nathia Gali and Islamabad?
So it was very good, very good. In fact, we had like some ups and downs, but I always focus. I always try to focus on the positive aspects always, because whenever you're trying to focus on negative ones, or even unintentionally you're trying to focus on the negative ones, their whole time becomes negative.
Yeah.
So there were a few things that we were not getting enough rest. We couldn't keep the warm clothes with us, and it was a hailstorm when we were in Nathia Gali. It was so cold. Still, I was doing my meeting while sitting at Jesse's, because we stayed at Lemon Lodges, and there was Jesse's upstairs, and it was only internet available at that time. And I had two client pitches on that day, and we couldn't even sleep on time. We came upstairs, and then we joined the calls, and then I did the client pitches. And thankfully the client is on board and reported, because there were some internet issues as well.
Yeah.
But still I could manage it with all that cold over there, and it was raining, and it was thunderstorm over there, but still it was very good.
So I'll tell you a little, the people who are listening, that Lemon Lodges and Jesse's both are something that I started as a business. So I would have, Bria definitely told you a place where there is the best internet because I've worked from Lemon Lodges a lot. So yeah, so it's great. But Bria didn't tell me, they didn't tell me before they were going, so I could give them a good discount. That's great.
Because
We got good money from them. Yeah, so it's and the best part about this listening to your story is that the flexibility that we are getting in today's world, that we can work from anywhere we want to. We can go out, we have that flexibility. Back in the days, you have to be 9 to 5 in the office, sitting in that chair. You want to sit there or not, that's not your choice. You have to be there. So today's
yeah,
world is very different. You can handle. I'm sure a lot of people, fine ladies like you would not be able to work if it was not remote working, and it was not the flexibility of timings and things like that. So I'm glad that you're enjoying your personal life as well, Barira, and it's a pleasure talking to you. It was something that I have 3 daughters as well. Really makes me happy to see moms like you doing a great job, uh, concentrating on both fronts and doing amazing work.
trying.
Anything, yeah, anything you want to say before we close it? Any last words? Any words of wisdom? Anything?
Just one thing that I have learned so far, and I want to repeat it again because I told this in rep camp as well, that what people do is, and what I was also like going towards, is that whenever difficult times are coming up in your work life or in your personal life as well, people give up. I mean, people are so rigid that they cannot go with the flow. So I am just going to tell this to everyone, that please don't be rigid. Be a flexible individual and try to go with the flow and stay consistent as well. And know what your goals are, and know where you have to be.
Yeah, I love that part about your when you said that focus on the positives and leave the negatives. If you're doing that, especially in traveling, I mean, I've had so many issues with my traveling during COVID. Before that, we're crazy travelers. Me, my wife, my kids. So if you're traveling and you don't focus on the positive and you start looking at the negatives, you won't be able to enjoy a single bit of it. Like I've had cases like we had to fly from Karachi to New York, and then I forgot one of the passports in Islamabad. We
Oh my
just I just took
god.
it positively. I was like, all right, let's spend some time in Karachi. So I got the passport next day, and then we flew, and we got a huge loss of money, but then that's how it is, and. So these kind of things happen. A lot of times, COVID test not working. COVID test is old. At that time, you remember them when COVID tests were so big. So I've
Yeah.
had we've had our share. I remember once we were all packed, leaving for the airport at night, and we were going to France. And I just got to know that the visa doesn't start till next week because there was a starting date to the visa as well. And I was like, "What the hell?" And then, but that's how it is. Then we were like, "All right, let's spend one more week in Islamabad." So that's how you take things. And I love that part from all of this conversation. Let's focus on the positives and leave the negatives home. Bareera, great talking to you, and I'll soon be in Karachi. And let's get in touch. Let's have a cup of
Yeah, whenever you're
coffee.
coming again for the run, do tell me and I'll join you.
Yeah. We'll definitely do that as well. All right, take care and have a great night. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.